Presentism, what is it? Talking about historical analysis, and that I got kind of called out on something. I'm going to double down though, and I'm still going to say that I was right. But in the last video, from bad to worse to oh my gosh, while researching family history, I use as an example of the oh my gosh. All right, so it was this 1949. Yeah, you can see the date right there. My Italian isn't that bad. Grazia Simonetta and Giuseppe Rossi. This is November 1949. Or is it? No, 1948. Wow, I made a mistake. I did my, yep. It's my reading comprehension, not so much my Italian. Obviously, Otto is 8. The alarm was because Giuseppe is 32. And the bride is 16.
Oh, mon Dieu.
And somebody basically left a comment and they double down on it that I can't judge the past based on the present. Like, this is 1948, not 1648. So I think even in 1648, most people would have been absolutely horrified at a wedding, a child marriage like this. Again, it's not like the other example where it was, 16, 17, and 19. All right, this is 32, so it's significantly older there. So unfortunately, going through the actual 1949 records, I found this, Giuseppe Delisi and a Benedetta. And Giuseppe is actually like a first cousin 4 times removed. So this one is disturbing. So I did find this, and you can see here Quindici, she's 15, and Vente Trey at 23. So you still have a 15-year-old and a 23-year-old. This is just wrong. And so the idea is that just because it's in the past, I can't impose mine. So we'll take a look at what presentism is, and in literary and historical analysis, because doing family history, we are talking about actual history. Presentism is a term for the introduction of present-day ideas and perspectives and depictions or interpretations of the past. Some modern historians seek to avoid presentism in their work because they consider it a form of cultural bias and believe it creates a distorted understanding of the subject matter. The practice of presentism is regarded by some as a common fallacy when writing about the past. And yeah, if you're we'll use an idea I find absolutely reprehensible, and that's polygamy. Won't go into all the details why, but it's basically frowned on. Yet 2,500 years ago, and then even in some cultures around the world, it is commonly accepted. So if I was to look at something from 2,500 years ago in Mesopotamia and look at somebody who had 15 wives and say that's absolutely morally reprehensible, I'm using my present understanding of the world and imposing it on the past, and it's usually not a good thing. Another one is certain groups like to is that, well, you can't criticize the Americans for, the American South for holding slaves because you can't you can use in post-civil rights era, ethics and morality, and you can't impose that on 1750 or even 1850 South Carolina. I mean, thing is, there you have a lot of people that actively oppose slavery. In fact, slavery was already by 1850, by the Civil War in the United States, had already been outlawed in England since 1770. I think it was the Somerset case. But it was a long time before that. There were a lot of people back then, even prior to the United States, when there was still abolitionists. So people knew back then, hey, owning people's property, that's wrong. I don't think that's actually what I did. Okay, so we'll go through an actual example here for example, with respect to slavery and race, historians influenced by the present have uncovered new data by raising new questions about racial issues. They have discovered, for instance, points of view and behavior among the enslaved that contradict older histories told primarily from the perspective of slave holders. In addition to the various forms of resistance embraced by enslaved peoples, opponents of slavery in the 18th and 19th centuries, including Quakers and abolitionists, objected on moral grounds to the enslavement of Africans. Yeah, history's problem isn't really presentism at all. Exactly. People had moral standards all through history. Now, yeah, depending on the culture or whatnot, it may change. It was culturally acceptable for the southern United States, among, of course, the rich. Why is it always the rich?
Why don't presidents fight the war? Why do they always send the poor? Why don't presidents fight the war? Why do they always send the poor? Why do they always send the poor?
To hold, slaves. But a lot of people were abolitionists. So the idea that I agree here, like I said, judging like the California genocide or the genocide of the Native Americans in the United States, judging it with present day morals, really not any different than the morals that we had 200 years ago. It was wrong. It's wrong to kill people. And you go back far, you could just go back to Justinian, where the basic ethic, live honestly, injure no one, give every man his due. So, the idea that modern ideas of ethics and morality are so vastly different than 100 years ago. No, that's just, it's not true, especially when you're within the same culture. So the idea here that in 1948, that I can't judge a child marriage from 1948 but 1948 is modern times. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead in here, and even though it involves a first cugino, now look, this was so bad. If you look here, Nunzio, the father, the fact that his son was marrying a child killed him. He's dead before this marriage even takes place.
Mort.
That, I understand that. I understand why this killed Nunzio. It would kill most people. I'm surprised it didn't kill her parents, although her parents may not have been there, because she's not actually from Carini. She's from Santa Ninfa. Yeah, this is just wrong. So you can't call presentism when it's only 2 generations, or 2 or 3 generations back, and it's part of Western culture and civilization. There's no presentism here. So here, a 15-year-old, a child, marrying a 23-year-old, yes, that is wrong. That is absolutely, no, the child marriages, always wrong. And yeah, that is definitely a hill that I'm willing to die on. So we are going to find horrifying things like this. Again, I just found this today, which is what prompted me to address the criticism, the comment about presentism. But when we're doing family history, when we're finding, look, bad things that happen, some people are going to find that their 5th great grandparents were slave owners, or were slaves. We're going to find those things. And I think as far as imposing morality on the historical event, I think as long as we're being fair, and it's a widely held or generally held belief back then I don't think it's presentism, just like the examples that I already gave. But these are things that we're going to find. I didn't think I was going to find another one so fast after doing the other video. And this is probably not even going to be the worst one that I find this weekend. And if you're finding disturbing things like this when you're doing your family history, I got a perfect shirt for you there. You go onto the store link. Where is it? Yeah, this one. Genealogy. Can I find one normal person in this family, huh?
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.